Hey, hi, what up? How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to TMI. Huzzah! Okay, so I thought I would take some time to talk about a little game that me and a bunch of my friends played in high school called What Are the Odds? So basically how this game worked is that someone would ask you something like,
hey, what are the odds you pick that wad of gum up off the ground and eat it?
or,
Hey, what are the odds you ask that guy over there to go out with you?
or,
What are the odds you walk backwards for the next 10 minutes?
and after a bit of thinking, you would pick a number based on how much or how little you were willing to do something. For instance, if someone had asked you, what are the odds that you'd slam your face into a pillow? You'd probably say something like 2. If, however, someone was to say something like, what are the odds that you'd slam your face into a pile of bricks? You'd probably say something like 1,000,000. Or just outright refuse. Which is probably what I would do. So then, on the count of 3, you would choose a number between 1 and whatever number you picked. So for the first example, you could either pick the numbers 1 or 2. But for the second example, you could pick anything between 1 and 1,000,000. If you both choose the same number, then whatever the person said is what you have to do. So you'll have to slam your face into that pile of bricks, you'll have to slam your face into that pillow. I mean, you can refuse because obviously if you play it with the right people, they're not gonna like force you to do something that you absolutely do not want to do, but like, that's aside. As you can imagine, the higher the number you pick, the lower your chances are of having to do whatever it was that the person said that you have to do. It just depends on how much or how little you want to do something. Although you can have like your own set of like specific rules for like your groups of friends or whatever, which is what we had. We couldn't pick a number above 100, and we also had this thing where if we picked different numbers but they both added up to the highest number that you could possibly pick, then you'd have to do it again. So with the rules of that game explained, I'm going to tell you about a couple of instances where things got weird. So basically, our game reached a peak at grad night because we were constantly playing it. And it was mostly asking each other stuff like, what are the odds you would kiss so-and-so? So that was interesting. Me being the adventurous soul that I was, I kept lowering the number from 100 all the way until it was 20 for just every single person. I think I was the only one who ended up having to kiss someone, except they didn't make me kiss someone for reals because I had never like kissed anyone at that point. So they didn't make me. I just did it on like their cheeks or whatever. It was still it was awkward. It was an awkward experience. Like I would have been fine, but I had to do it with like the 2 people that I was like the least comfortable with in the group. Ripped my life. Also, because we were at Disneyland for our grad night, there was one time where they did What Are the Odds, and I had to go up and ask this random dude for his phone number. He was probably like in his 30s or something, and like he had like, you know, piercings and like the tattoos and everything, and I was just like, oh man. Oh no. It was so terrible. I like just kind of like walked up to the guy and I was just like, for some context, me and my squad, we have different names for each other and we had the shirts on as well for them. And I was Squad Satan, or I am Squad Satan. So I went up to the dude and I was like, okay, I'm gonna make this less awkward, as not painful as I can. So I just walked up to him and I was just like, hey dude, want to give Satan your number? It was so terrible. He just kind of looked at me and was just like, he just kind of walked past me without saying anything or acknowledging my existence. And I was like, that's about the reaction I expected. I was really hoping he didn't say anything actually, at least, so crisis avoided, but oh my gosh. There was another time where I was at the beach with 2 of my friends. Yeah, I was just chilling on the beach because I had my normal clothes on. I don't remember I think it's because I didn't want to like necessarily swim that day, so I was just kind of like chilling. But basically, what happened was I was in all my clothes, full clothes, and my friend Savannah just looks at me and is like, what are the odds you just run into the ocean right now in all your clothes and everything? And I was just like, 100, because I'm not doing that, man. And so we both go, and on the count of 3, we both said, I can't even remember what the number was, but it was the same. I kind of just like sucked it up, I sighed, I dropped all of my electronics, and just ran straight into the ocean. So that was fun. So I ended up going into the ocean anyway. Another thing that I had to do that was also kind of like hilarious, I actually didn't end up having to do it, but like this instance was kind of funny, was I was walking back from the park with a couple of my friends, and this same friend, Savannah, she's the one who does most of the asking for the odds, like she's like the mastermind. I think she was the one who started us doing it. So basically, we were walking back from the park, a car starts passing by us, and so she kind of looks at me, and she goes, my dude, what are the odds that you run out into the road and let the car hit you? Obviously, I knew that she wasn't gonna make me do it, probably. But, I was still like, wow, 100. And so we both go at the same time, and we choose different numbers, but they added up to 100. She was just like, do it again, man, you gotta go again. I was just like, really? Oh my gosh. But there were no cars. And so we were just kind of like, I mean, I'll do it, but like, whatevs. And right at that moment, the car goes up to like this certain like little area. It's not really an intersection because it was in a neighborhood, but it goes into this area where you can do a U-turn, and it does a U-turn and starts coming back. And so Savannah got super excited and was just like, oh my gosh, hurry, 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 we gotta do it, it's coming back, it's coming back. And obviously I wasn't gonna have to do it, like, either way. Like, I was just gonna straight up refuse, clearly. We ended up doing it again. We got different numbers again. This time they didn't add up. But we thought it was freaking hilarious that we had to do it once and the car was passing by, and then when we had to do it again, it did U-turn and came back. Like, it was weird and it was hilarious. So there was another one that I had to do. Probably the actual worst one that I had to do is the one that made me the most uncomfortable overall. It made me feel horrible. Not horrible, but like bad, I guess. Basically what happened was me, Savannah, it literally is Savannah, like every time. Me, Savannah, and another friend of ours were all sitting at a park playing What Are the Odds? And it was pretty chill, wasn't that bad. I mean, I think I had to go down a slide, like, on the very side of the slide on my crotch, but, like, other than that, it's, like, fine. So, she kind of was, like, looking at me, and she was just like, hey, my dude, what are the odds that you call your parents mother? And so, obviously, I'm like, dude, 100. Because, like, I'm not gonna do that. So, naturally, we picked the same number. And so I was like, okay, like literally there's no way I'm doing that, guys. Like I can't. And at this time, a mother with her daughter had come into the park, and they were the only other people at the park, and the daughter was just swinging on the swings, and the mom was just chilling with her. They were having a good time. So Savannah's just like, okay, but dude, like, you still gotta do something. And then she sees the mother and the daughter. Oh, dude, how about you go sit on the swing next to that kid and just stare at her for a whole minute? And I was seriously, like, I was like, oh my god, I really don't want to do that. Like, that's so, oh no. So I just sucked it up, and I went and sat on that swing. And I looked down at that kid. I was sitting like right next to her, and I was like, hi and hello, and we had like a small conversation, but like nothing that could last that full minute. And so I was just sitting there staring at the kid in silence, and the kid was staring at me for a little bit, and then she just started looking at the ground and just swinging back and forth very small. Like, her mom wasn't pushing her anymore. And, like, I could feel the glaring eyes of this woman. As if I was like some like freaking child predator or kidnapper or something. Oh my gosh. So I finally, like, I got the okay from them and I came back and I was just like screaming and like, why? Why did I have to? Why? It was so terrible. They were just like talking about like how the mom looked just ready to like, she looked so like hostile like, and aggressive, and like I was just like, oh my gosh. So that was probably the worst one that I had to do, honestly. Like, I don't think that they were like, usually I'm pretty good about, if I lose what are the odds, I'm pretty good about it. But like that one was just so bad, like, no. Anyway, I hope my terrible stories have made you feel better about yourself and have put some ideas into your head about playing What Are the Odds. Hopefully you don't do anything as terrible as I had to do, but who knows, honestly, like, you do you. If you want to play this game, go for it. If you don't want to play it, I completely understand. I haven't had to play it in a while, actually, which is interesting, and also probably a good thing. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video and my suffering, please like, comment, and subscribe. If you want me to talk about anything specific in TMIs, go ahead and leave your suggestions in the comments down below. And, yeah. Fun times, the return of TMI. Okay, well, anyway, talk to you guys later. Techno cut out. Bye.